My name is Kevin Wolf. I am the chair of the California Clean Money Action Fund. That's the 501c4 organization. My quick little story is, gosh, I got out of university and started volunteering for initiatives like the Water Conservation Efficiency Initiative, and then Forest Forever, and then Tax Big Oil, and we lost every one of them because of dark money against us, of not knowing who it was that was spending this massive amount of money. So about 20-something years ago, I decided to change tactics. And I started volunteering for the Clean Money Action Fund because we need to change the rules of the game. And the rules of the game is how much money affects our elections and our democracy. So I'm very happy to be here. A couple little things before I welcome our next person. There is exits over here and in the front and over on the side. Bathrooms are in the back around the corner. You're welcome to leave your seats whenever you want to. Just be nice and quiet about it. And we do definitely have a full house. So with that, I would like to introduce Phoebe Sorghum-Thomas, who is with the board of the Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists. She and the board has given us a great half price off on this wonderful facility, and it's a great thing. We're really happy to have her, and so you get to come up.
Thank you so much. And we at BFUU, we have the motto, spirituality and social justice. And our spirituality is very broad, as you can see from the banners in the back. We welcome everybody who is sane and kind, including atheists, agnostics. You see the naked lady over there representing the pagans. And so if you don't have a spiritual home, or even if you do, I have two, you are welcome to come back on Sunday mornings at 10:30. We have very inspiring services that vary a lot. So if you come to two and by some miracle are not inspired, come back at least a third time. Reverend Ben Myers is one of my favorite. He preaches once a month here. He's just very charismatic and witty, and he also happens to be a fabulous singer, songwriter, guitarist, and he will be the featured artist for our next open mic. We have open mics the third Sundays of every month. Founded by Country Joe McDonald. So there is a strong social justice emphasis, but everything is welcome. Comedy, storytelling, poetry, magic. It is magical. On the other Friday nights, we have dances, freestyle dances, shoe-free, and with a DJ, and the fun way to keep in shape. So you are welcome here for fun every Friday night, every Sunday morning at 10:30. And then we have a few special events coming up. On June 1st, we are having an immigrant rights fair here. And now it's not, the target audience is not undocumented people, they're welcome, but the target audience is allies. So we can all learn how to support immigrants. And that's from 3 to 6 on June 1st. So I hope you will come back. We are very delighted to have you here. We at BFUU and our Social Justice Committee, we are long-term champions of legalizing democracy in the USA. And so we helped get public financing of elections right here in Berkeley, and we often support the candidates who go for public financing, and we need to get it across California and across the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Phoebe and the Unitarians. Now the next person is going to be the running the show from here on out. It's our famous and wonderful, inspiring leader, Trent Lang. He's been here for longer than I have been involved in it. So with that, Trent.
Thank you, Kevin. Hello, everybody. Are we ready to stop big money from dominating politics? Are we sick and tired of billionaires having the most say in elections because they're the only ones with money? Yeah. We are here to change that with public financing of campaigns, with SB 42 to start us rolling right down that path. We have a great program today. Thank you all for being here on a very lovely Sunday. We have many co-sponsors of this, besides our great speakers, of this event. And we cannot do it without you. We're the California Clean Money Campaign. Our primary focus is on money in politics. A lot of you have seen us and helped us pass game-changing bills like the California Disclose Act to require political ads to show their top 3 funders on the ads. How many of you have seen those top 3 funders on the bottom of television ads nice and clearly? Is that a good thing to see? That was hard to pass in the legislature, but we did it all working together. And now, next step is public financing a campaign so candidates have the money they need to run, to empower small donors and voters, so we can have really fair elections. With that, I want to acknowledge all of our co-sponsors here today. What I'm going to do is when you hear a group that you know and love and maybe invited you, one of the co-sponsors, stand up and wave your hand, and everybody's going to cheer when they do it, okay? First of all, our partners, our longtime partners for the last 20 years working for public financing and other changes in politics. California Common Cause is a co-sponsor of the bill and the event. The League of Women Voters of California. Woo! I know we got a lot of leaguers. We have Indivisible California, some of our newest partners. You guys are awesome. Courage California, the California Alliance for Retired Americans, Bay Rising Action, 350 Bay Area Action. I'm just going to keep right on reading here. 350 Contra Costa Action, 350 Marin Actions. You're all co-sponsors of this event. The Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalist Social Justice Committee. Contra Costa Jewish Democrats. Contra Costa Move On. The Dean Democratic Club of Silicon Valley. Democracy in a Box. Democracy 21st Century Club. Diablo Valley Country Club. Democratic. I don't think the Country Club's going to co-sponsor the public financing bill. My apologies. We'll work on it, though. The Dolores Huerta Democratic Club. Indivisible East Bay. Anybody from Indivisible East Bay here? Indivisible Marin. Indivisible Palo Alto. Indivisible Resistors Contra Costa. Indivisible San Francisco. And Indivisible Sonoma County. Oakmont Progressives. Peninsula Democratic Coalition. Peninsula Peace and Justice Center. San Mateo County Democracy for America. Solidarity Sundays Marin. Tri-Valley Democratic Club. Unitarian Universalist Church of Palo Alto. United Native American Wellstone Democratic Renewal Club. All these groups know we need to get big money out of politics. I want to give a very quick applause to some of our hardest working volunteers. Elaine Abizri, Graham Huey, Mary Gill, who've been helping with everything here. And our dedicated volunteer coordinators. Stand up when I name your name. Craig Dunkerley. There we go. He's over there. He's our South Bay Area coordinator. David Schmidt, San Francisco and North Parts. Shirley Shelengoski, East Bay Area. Chris Hamilton, this part of the East Bay Area back there. And last but definitely not least, Nancy Neff. Where is she? She holds everything together. She's like a free staffer. She does everything. She works harder than any staffer you'll ever see, and she's a donor too. So thank you all very much. We have a great show, but first I want to bring up, we're holding this kickoff here in Berkeley for a good reason, and that's what's already been mentioned. Berkeley already has public financing campaigns. And I like to say it's probably the best matching fund system in the entire country. Not only a 6-to-1 match, but it's only up to $50, so it really only benefits 60. It started at 50, now inflation is up to 60. So it really only benefits small donors, and they get enough to run their entire campaigns with those small donors and the 6-to-1 match. So we're really thrilled about that. With that, I'm very excited to have the mayor of Berkeley, Adina Ishi, who didn't start, I don't believe she came from the League of Women Voters, so I don't think that she's necessarily really super tied in with wealthy special interests. If they are, the League's been holding out on us. but was able to use it. Thank you very much for coming. Really appreciate it.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? All right, how many of you actually live here in Berkeley? Because I think you're from all over. Wow, there's still a lot of you. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. As was mentioned, it makes so much sense that we're having this campaign kickoff here in Berkeley because we have public financing here. And they've asked me to come and share just a little bit about my story. First, I want to say that I really don't think I would be here today if it weren't for the public financing program. I am our youngest female mayor here, our first woman of color, and our first Asian American elected mayor in this city. Yeah, thank you. And I am not someone who came from money. I'm not someone who would have been able to fund this campaign by myself. It's because of these small donations and our public financing matching program, which, as was mentioned, was a 6-to-1 match, that I was able to be here today because we were able to raise about $200,000 with our public finance matching, and I know that I would not be here today because I was not elected before this. I had never been an elected official, and I was running against 3 elected officials here in this city. And so I think that really says something about the importance of our public financing program and allowing people who wouldn't normally have an opportunity to run for office, much less win, to be able to give that shot. So that's something I wanted to share with you all. SB 42 is so important to repeal the ban on public financing so that non-charter cities, both on jurisdictions that aren't charter cities, including general law cities, counties, and also the state, can implement public financing, just like we have here in Berkeley. That's so important. So I'm really, really proud that our city was actually the first city to endorse SB 42. So let's give applause for Berkeley, the city of Berkeley. I'm really proud of this city, and I'm very glad to be here supporting this. I actually came home a day early so I could come and be here for this event because I know that I am someone who's really benefited from SB 42. And if we want to see a government that isn't run by special interests, that doesn't have dark money, that is able to elect more young, diverse candidates, then we need to be supporting SB 42. Thank you so much.
Isn't that actually really exciting that people who do not have big financial backgrounds like Mayor Dina have been able to run with public financing campaigns and win without having to raise big money contributions? That's what we're here for. And the next person I'm about to introduce is the one that is leading to help make this happen. And that is ever since he came into the legislature, he came to California Clean Money Campaign and Common Cause and the League of Women Voters and said, I want to do public financing campaigns. And he started with us last year. We got a little bump in the road last year, but now we're going to finish it this year. So everybody give a very warm welcome to joint author of SB 42, Assemblymember Alex Lee.
All right. Well, Councilmember Trigub and Mayor Ishii, it is really great to be in your city today to kick off the campaign for SB 42. My name is Alex Lee. I'm the state assembly member for the 24th district, which is southern Alameda County and northern Santa Clara County, meaning it was an hour and change with traffic to get up here, and then it'll be an hour and change to get back to my district. But I really am glad to see so many faces from so far across the Bay Area collected here today to support SB 42. Now, Trent was very generous in saying there was a bump in the road. Really, this is a really important measure that would change the game in our elections so much. And that's why we can't take it for granted. I have to say is that Disclose Act has changed politics so innumerably. It has changed how dark money when they spend on candidates or ballot measures now reveals that, as you see in these, exactly like this example right now, is that could be Chevron or the Chamber of Commerce paying things and deceiving voters has really changed the ability for us to say the message is not right, look at you can follow the money, right? In fact, so much so, I keep, even in my conversation, when I do get a chance to talk to Senator Bernie Sanders, I'm like, you guys need this at the federal level, because that would change the game as well. Because you can imagine, especially in swing states, even our states, right, when it's, there's some ad for whoever and it says paid for by Americans for Ponies or something, right? You have no idea who that group at all is. But in California, if there's Californians ponies and it said Chevron, PG&E, and all these people, then you'd be like, well, maybe they don't actually love ponies that much, actually. So it's just changed the game. And something that can really pivotally change the game in county races, city races, and especially the state, is we have publicly financed elections. And SB 42 is the pivotal first step to getting it done. There's a reason I've bugged Common Cause and all the groups here today about how important it is, and Clean Money Campaign, about since I got in 2020 that we need to have public financing, is for two things. One is, unfortunately, the California Constitution and the laws basically says if you want to do something cool, there was a law for some reason passed in the 50s that says you cannot do it explicitly, and so we have to go back to the voters and change it. Secondly is I am only one of 2 legislators out of 120 that do not take any corporate money whatsoever. Thank you. And especially being in a room of people who share the value for grassroots democracy, you also understand how difficult it is. I have run several times in my 5 years against people who unscrupulously will get a check from a certain company, their super PAC, their trade association, and then also their independent expenditures to come attack me. But I have remained steadfast in my promise since 2019 when I was first elected. And just like Mayor Ishii, I was never elected before. I was super young. In fact, no one thought I was going to win, including myself. I did not think I was going to win. Okay? The next Democrat had 16x amount of money than I did, so we were like, probably going to happen, right? But at the doors is where we won, because we went to neighbor, every tiny barbecue and every event that happened, and this was just before the pandemic, too, so it was literally right before the pandemic, and we shared our vision of a bold, progressive vision that said there was housing, healthcare, and education for all, and was not controlled by billionaire oligarchs. Unfortunately, we have slid a little bit closer to what I said we shouldn't have than what we should have today, but it does say the importance of why we need more grassroots democracy. Even at the doors, I would have genuinely great folks, conversations, people who are seniors of fixed income, and they would give me literally like $20. They would give me $10 there. But if we had a matching system at the state, you can imagine how we could leverage $10, $15 into, if we had a generous Berkeley system, 6x that amount, which would be awesome. But right now, we have a system where it is in many ways pay to play. If you think about it, the next governor we have, their top contribution limit is like almost $11,000, right? And I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot of my neighbors who are like, oh yeah, I'll give $11,000 to the next governor, easy, right? Even just because I believe in them. But the reality is right now is that system favors those who have tons and tons of resources. And unlike someone who runs for Congress or president, they can take the money from their super PAC, they can take money directly. And I can tell you some example from my local business. This does happen. You may not have heard of them in my district of Fremont. They're called Tesla. I don't know if you've heard of them. But what they do is they fund directly to candidates, then they do their own super PACs, and then they have their trade associations that are all part of, and they all gift money to people. When I first came to the legislature, it is one of the many things I went to work on, including public finance, was to ban corporate contributions altogether, and now we've moved to getting rid of foreign influence in elections, but those things are very, very hard. Even though we got the last year version SB 42, we had an assembly version that I authored, and we had a Senate version that Senator Umberg authored. And believe you, he would not describe himself as a progressive, but he is a smart person who knows common sense solutions when he needs one. But we authored both legislations, and they both got stuck in the Appropriations Committee last year. And then we lost our chance, right? So we have to not take this for granted, because we want to make sure that it gets on the 2026 ballot. So I really want to encourage you to, especially because we're all over the Bay Area, to really write to your assembly members, your state senators, and say, this is an important measure. It needs to get before the voters. And I can tell you, along the way, we barely had anyone really oppose it, because one, it's a bad look, right? No one wants to oppose public financing. And two, it's a common sense, smart idea. So really take the time to get mobilized and organized and let your neighbors know that this is the first step. Because the first step in SB 42 just says that we can have public financing. The second step after that is to create a system. Maybe we model off to Berkeley, maybe we model off to LA or New York or something like that. But we have to create a system where everyday people have more say than billionaires and corporations. So I'm really glad that you're all here today, and thank you so much for being here. And I want to say my last plug is that Assemblymember Avila Farias said she wanted to be here, but unfortunately she got caught up in something. So we're really happy that you're all here supporting SB 42, and I'm in for the fight with you all the way. Thank you.
That's the sort of leadership we need. Assemblymember Lee is helping lead this down in Southern California. As he already mentioned, Senator Tom Umberg, the lead author from Orange County, kind of across the spectrum, as he said. Senator Ben Allen, who you all know is a longtime clean money champion, is a joint author, and Senator Sabrina Cervantes, who is a new clean money champion. She helped us pass the Text Message Disclose Act. So we have a really strong leadership group. Also, as you mentioned, Assemblymember Avila Flores was going to come here, but couldn't make it. Senator Josh Becker, who's a principal co-author, Assemblymember Ash Kalra. They had understandable conflicts, and Senator Wiener. So just wanted to shout them out. They all said to say how strongly they support it, and they wish they were here. Okay, but for the people that are here, another person I want to introduce. He's always been very helpful all along the line when it comes to clean money issues with the California Disclose Act in his many different hats that he wears. But now he's wearing the hat of a Berkeley City Council member who got elected with public financing. Please give a big round of applause to Berkeley City Council member Igor Tregub.
Well, first of all, I'm just so inspired to see everyone here. And let's give another round of applause to the Berkeley Unitarian Fellowship and Phoebe for hosting this momentous occasion. I feel very fond about this particular institution, not just because at one point in my life I used to live just a block up from here. It is in a district that I'm honored to serve. Also, shout out to former council member Kate Harrison in the back of the room, who did such a great job of serving before me. You know, when Trent texts or calls me, I'm like, he's got a magnetic personality. So anything that he asks me to do, you know, it doesn't take a lot to twist my arm, because Trent is a master strategist. He's pulled more rabbits out of a hat than, speaking of hats, than an Easter egg hunt. So thank you so much, Trent, and the entire grassroots team for all the work that you have done and continue to do to get us up to this point.